Welcome everybody. We are now going to be watching game number 2 of the TQ Open number 10 finals. We are going to be watching VTSwu, the Terran spawning in the bottom left, going up against NrGCocoA. Coco, a player we have watched many occasions. He's won multiple TQ Opens, incredibly strong Terran player. And this is actually game number 2, so it's a loser's pick map. Coco did win the first game, so this is VTSwu's choice. We're going to be able to see how this game will progress. Swu is going to be... It's going to be interesting to see how Swu is going to decide to change his gameplay on this game. Right now we can see that he's going to send off his SCV, most likely build a supply depot in a really good spot. Going to wall off that little spot behind the refinery, or what will be a refinery eventually. At least I would assume so, unless he's going to go for some weird all-in marine push, which is not exactly inconceivable. It's not exactly probable either. But we're going to see how Swu's going to develop his game as opposed to last game. That's definitely one of the things I love watching about best of series, is how the losing player will adjust their play and whether or not the winning player is going to adjust their play to something different. Sometimes the winner will just do the same thing he did in the previous game because it worked, so why not? So we're going to watch how these guys decide to develop their play. Now, this is a TVT, so it's going to be most likely a very similar beginning build order. You can see right now that they're doing the exact same thing, which is expected, but we're going to see how they choose to develop in a minute or two. That's probably when we'll start seeing deviations. Seeing if there's going to be a fast second refinery is a very clear indication of something going to be changing. And ooh, look at all the... Okay, so you got really... That's a lot of waypoints. He definitely wants to send these guys in very specific locations. But now, right now, these guys are being very friendly to each other. Right now, Coco is... Oh yeah, that's Armin VB that be response in this one. Yeah, Armin, yeah. So it looks like Swu did take out Armin. I don't know who Coco took out, but Coco took out somebody good, as Coco is also an incredibly skilled player. But yeah, Armin versus Response was a pretty cool series. If you guys want to watch that, I believe Response did speak as he was playing. So it's very, very cool thing to watch, to see how a top player actually thinks as he plays. That's actually something that I'm really thankful for, is the fact that Response has been really, really kind and actually commentating, playing, and commentating at the same time. So very big thank you to Response. You guys check him out, his streams. He does stuff on Gosu Coaching, as well as I believe he's now actually a part of Lazarus Gaming, and he just got engaged. So you guys, if you ever encounter Response, congratulate him on that. But yeah, so just thank you Response for being awesome. So right now the Coco and Swu are still just discussing Armin, and apparently they think that Armin is actually a Smurf account. It's interesting. You probably don't know who he really is if it's a Smurf account, but still, right now we do have a reactor coming out for Swu fairly quickly on his barracks, as well as going for a factory as well. And actually, he might have been going for a similar Banshee build as last time, as he does have enough for the starport right now. He does have the double gas, and there is a starport. Let's just see what's going on from Coco. Coco might be doing something very similar, as he does have both refineries out. He does have enough to build a starport, but he's not. Instead, he's going to try and just kill this SCV. Most likely, there it is. He does take out the SCV. And is there going to be a starport coming out for Coco? Yep, there is a starport. A little bit late, but shouldn't be too big of a deal. Though if you look into the base over here of Swu's starport is almost done. This Swu, yep, he does have a tech lab. Oh, but he doesn't seem to be going for a Banshee this time around. He's used a tech lab on the factory for a siege tank, and he canceled again. Is he gonna go for just straight Viking? So no add-on. He probably went for a tech lab, canceled it, reactor, canceled it, and now he's just gonna go straight for a Viking. So he's going to be doing a normal tank Viking play. Seems like he's a little indecisive about what to do exactly, but it does seem that this is going to be the case. But here we go. Strong push in from Coco. The tank is going to pop out, so this should be repelled, but still it's going to be actually surprisingly close. But there it is. Swu does repel it. Tank coming out at the perfect timing. Coco almost had a really good chance to do a ton of damage, but not Armin, I just called him Armin, no. But VTSwu, Swu does end up being able to hold it off. Oh, I do want to also say that VTSwu is part of VT Gaming. Check them out, vtgaming.net. Very strong team. They've done a couple TQ Opens, everything like that. So now it's actually going to be pretty cool to watch how this is going to develop. Coco does seem going for a very similar thing as last time. He's going for straight tank Viking. No early expansion though from Coco this time around. He probably is thinking that Swu might go for something a little bit cheesier to begin with, just because of the fact that Swu might have lost the first game. That's not exactly something that is uncommon for people to try and win when they're behind like that. Although it's also the same as the reverse. When someone's ahead of game, they feel like they have a free game to cheese and possibly get an easy win. So cheese is very, very common in the second game of the series. Right now we do have Coco gonna go for his expansion. Probably go for the economic game as well. He's not going for as fast an expansion as last game, but still going for a faster expansion. But Coco is actually doing a little bit of scouting with this Viking. It does get repelled, but it does not die. That's key. If he had lost that Viking, that actually would have been pretty bad. But he does keep the Viking alive. He will be able to repair it and then just continue to tech up. But now here we go. Oh, actually, look at that. Swu doing the exact same thing about scouting with that Viking. Now Coco does have another one. He might be trying to chase this down and kill it. Oh, he really is trying to chase it down and kill it, as this Viking is also going to try and go after it. Let's just see if he can successfully do that. Oh, but God's going to turn into this Viking. Are they on attack? There it is. Oh, they're going to be able to pick it off. That Viking's going to go down for Swu. That is really bad. He does get a shot off on this Viking. But Coco's, again, just going to be able to repair that and be okay. So now as you see, 3 tanks are out for Coco. How many are out for Swu? Swu only has 1. He does have a Raven. But I don't think there's any more Vikings as the first Viking did die. Yeah, no Vikings, just 2 tanks. So was 1 did just complete. So a Raven and 10 Marines. So Swu is in a little bit of a bad spot. Coco is at 64 food while Swu is at 54. Coco is about to have an expansion. So Coco is just playing impeccably. You can see he's getting a good job of scouting. He does have this Hellion that's going to go right by. Okay, Swu does know that's Hellion. He's going to try and take it out. The Hellion does scout the army as well as knows the fact that there is no expansion yet. So Coco has got to be feeling good that his expansion is going to be up. He's going to be able to position his army in time for his attack, so he should be okay once he sieges up his tanks. Let's just see how he's going to develop. He's kept his Hellion alive, and now he's going to move out with these Vikings. So I'll probably try and pick off something. Yep, there he is, taking out a Viking. No point defense drone. And the Raven's gonna go. Oh, okay, no, the point defense drone does go down, but that Raven almost goes down, and that is deadly. The Raven does not go down, luckily. And oh, actually, it's gonna be repaired by this SCV that's over here that almost died. But still, this point defense is going to last for a while. It's not in an ideal spot. So what Coco did there was incredibly good. Just forcing the point defense to go down in a spot that is almost irrelevant to... actually, it is irrelevant if Swu wants to push out the front. But now here we go. That Marine will die. And now, okay, he's going to try and pick off... There it is. He's going to take away some of the energy on this point defense drone. Probably try and also pick off this Raven. There it is. Doing a good job of picking off the energy, just moving around, doing a little bit just to give himself a little more room to work with. Now here we go. Vikings and everything are over here. Coco is ahead of the Viking count still, as another one did pop out. 2-2. Coco does have more health. Plus he has these Marines over here. The Marines do not have stim. Stim is not being researched. No combat shield, but there we go. Point defense going down, hurting a lot, but oh, Coco just has a perfect spread on his tanks. Not going to take any splash damage. He'll be able to take out these Vikings and take out this tank as well. Coco, great positioning. Going to be able to just destroy Swu's army. Swu's Expo is now, but Swu is really behind. Swu has 36 SCVs of 39 and only 1 tank and 1 Marine for an army, and that is it. Coco is in such a better spot, doing really good army movements, chasing out everything that he possibly can, taking out as well as taking out those tanks in perfect positioning. Coco is just playing so well. He's now preparing to expand as well. He might want to actually take this gold. He could easily get away with it if he just moves this out. He can probably take that out right now, as really Swu has no opportunity to do any damage right now. He might be able to do a drop or something, but he has no medevacs. So no drop. He's, oh yeah, look at this. 2 barracks and a factory now being produced by Swu. He's feeling really on edge. Feels like he has got to produce a lot of army, and he knows he's behind, so he's got to try and find a way to come back into it. He will try and do an expansion, but again, Coco is going to be out first. Coco's expansion pattern is just so crisp. Swu is an incredibly skilled player, and Coco is just out-positioning him fairly well. Now, yeah, look at this. These additional rocks are going to go down fairly easily. No upgrades yet on the units, but I think it's true for both players. Yep, no upgrades, but still. Oh, actually, just to say that, Coco's going for +1 infantry weapons as well as combat shield and stim. So all of a sudden, Coco's going to be doing that same switch as last time, where once his tank count gets high, Coco will be getting infantry upgrades, which is definitely a good move. He's going to try and push in over here. He might try and actually cliff these guys. He's going to come over here, probably siege his siege tanks right up at the edge, and just take out as much as he can. There's the siege. Yep, there's 2 tanks of siege, sieging up everything else as well. He's covering the bases, going to cover this entrance if Swu wants to push up, as well as start taking out these guys. He's going to be able to pick off these barracks as they try and fly up with these Vikings. Such a good positioning on Coco's part. And he's going to be able to pick off the... Oh, he picks off the Viking as it comes out. That's so bad. Swu cannot afford to lose anything right now. And yeah, Swu is just getting units picked off left and right. But now here we go. Oh, that Marine's going to try and take that. But no, that Marine's going to do nothing. Here we go. Coco is getting the gold during this whole entire time. Coco is also just patrolling these guys. He's going to be able to take out this barracks as well. Coco is playing impeccably. He's going to be able to destroy the starport as well. Oh, no, he's not going to be able to, as these tanks are out of range. They're taking out a couple production buildings. Really good use of those guys. And now he's going to position them on the other side. Now he's going to start hitting the starport. He'll be able to take out the reactor at minimum, if not the starport as well. But now, yeah, let's look at this. Oh, God, Coco has a full army back here as well. Coco at 130 food against Swu's 96. So Swu is coming back in the food count. Swu's getting his expo, but this is going to be bad. Coco is getting his gold. Swu is losing units over here. But now Coco, yeah, Coco is just being so good with his units right now. Just controlling everything so well. He's just controlling this game, manhandling Coco. Manhandling Swu. Coco is manhandling Swu is what I meant to say. Swu is going to get an orbital command, not a planetary fortress. He really needs the economy right now, and God, Coco is just positioned so well. The SCVs are coming over here. Oh God, looks like this Swu is going to try and... What is he doing with these SCVs? Is he just going to scout or try and do something? It seems like he's just going to scout. But Coco is going to pull back. He's done a ton of damage. I believe Coco lost his Vikings. Let's just check for units. Yep. Coco only has... Coco has 3 Vikings, but they are not over here with the army. They're probably back here somewhere. Yep, there it is. There are the Vikings. 3 Vikings for him, but he has this huge army again. He does such a good job of positioning one army, then bringing another army over to just deal as much damage as he can. Look at this. Coco's going to siege up and going to be able to just destroy. There it is. Marines just evaporating, stimming, doing as much damage as possible. Tanks are going down. And look at this. Coco's already forced this expansion to leave. And there's GG from Swu. So well played. Swu is now down 0-2. We're going to move on to game number 3 now. Coco is playing so well. Thank you guys for watching, and we're going to move on.